So in my last video, I called RYOBI and they're sending me a new battery. Ooh, RYOBI. This is a 40 volt lithium 5 amp hour battery. But so they told me just to take this one and recycle it. They don't want it back. So I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna see if I can see any bad solder joints and test the batteries and see what's going on in here to see what went wrong. And to open it up, you gotta take these foil caps off. And then these are safety screws, so you gotta use the bit that has the hole in the center so you can get these out. So now before I take the cover off, I'm just going to check it real quick and see what it says here. It don't show no life in there whatsoever. So we'll turn this off. Now we're going to take that off. That came off easy. And let's see. Little capacitors there, they look okay. Get that off. Let's just look around here a little bit. Let's see. So there's a bunch of batteries in here. Oh, that's a Phillips screwdriver screw right there. It's got a little button there. That's your test button to test and see if it's working. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 little lights right there, but they're not lighting up. So let's just see. I see some corrosion around these things. So it looks like this thing is just glued down. There's a couple of Phillips screws there. You basically have these 3 tabs here that connect the batteries together. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 20 batteries in here. 20 batteries. Alright, so get these 2 screws out. And it's loose. Don't matter. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this to come apart. Oh, looks like it's going to come apart. But I'm going to have to get this panel off of here first. Just have to work real easy with it, I guess, because it's just glued on there, I think. Now, you know what? I see some screws. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Ooh, they're little tiny screws too. Let's see, a screw here, a screw here, a screw here, and a screw here, and a screw here. There might be one underneath that solder. Let's see if I can get them out. Got those off now. Let's see if it'll come off of there. Well, let's see. I don't think there's a screw there. It might be a screw underneath that solder right there. Hope not. I think there's another plate in the middle here, and I think that's solder. Is it soldered together? That's what I think. What do you think? It's either soldered through to the inside there, or there's screws underneath that solder, which I don't think there is. So I'd really like to get those batteries out and test them and see if they're any good, and see if I can use them for something else instead of throwing it away. That's what they're going to do at Home Depot. They're going to throw it away. So let's see. There's another way to crack this open. These are not made to replace the batteries, I can tell you that. Well, I mean, I guess you could if you unsolder that stuff. I don't think my soldering gun's heavy duty enough to get that off of there. So I got my old soldering gun out, and let's just see if it'll heat up. This is an old one. It's from Radio Shack. Old Radio Shack. But let's give it a minute or two to heat up and find my solder sucker. There that is. Now I gotta get a wet sponge. But it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Let's just see. Let's just see if this will do anything. Nope, I just don't think it's going to be strong enough or hot enough. It ain't going to do it, guys. It ain't going to do it. I don't think. It's hot. It ain't hot enough to melt that. It is still saying defective. But those battery cells in there are good, so it's the board. It's the board that's bad. And I don't have a soldering gun strong enough to take those off of there. That was interesting. Let me see. If you go from here to here, you got 22 volts. And if you go there to there, you have 41 volts. And if you go from here to here, you got 40 volts. So you got 40 volts here, but you don't have it here. So the battery cells are good. It's the board that's bad. So now we know. So that's a shame. There's nothing wrong with these cells. Daggone it. And this is not working. So I'm just wondering if it's these capacitors. But they got gook on the end of them, so you can't test them. Anyway, now you know. So it's got a red and green light blinking. So when you plug it in, it's got a red and green light blinking, which means it's a defective battery, but it's not a defective battery, it's a defective board. And I just don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if you can order these boards, but it's not getting voltage up here where these lights are at. You got 3 lights, 4 lights right there. Here, let me show you what one looks like that works. Here, this is the same one. You push that, and that last light there is very faintly green, but that's what it should do when you... So none of those lights are coming on, so there's something on this end of the board right here that's bad, because it's not getting power up here. Let's just check one other thing here. Well, it's getting 25 volts to there, but it's 50 volts there. Woo. So it's charged and everything. It's just not coming out here. It's not coming out. Oh, now it's 40 volts. Look at that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm going to plug it in again and try it. And I know what you're saying. Maybe the battery charger's bad. Well, it charges this battery just fine, but it won't charge this battery. No, it makes no sense. It won't charge. And I wonder if we try it in the more, see what it says. Let's do that. Nope, that does not work. Just to show you that the mower does work. So my conclusion is the battery cells are good. This board is bad, but I need a soldering gun that's heavy enough to undo these solders to get this off, and so we can reuse those batteries. I could break it and get it off, but I might cause a short and do more damage than good. So I'm going to go to Harbor Freight Tools and see if I can get a bigger solder gun and unsolder this thing. So anyway, now you know. The battery that quit working on me, the cells are good. The board is not good. 20 volts. So the battery's good. The batteries are good and they're charged. But something went wrong with the board. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll have another video for you soon. You guys have a fantastic day. This is Harold signing off, baby.